What this tab?
Yeah, the network one wasn't working before.
So, uh, this session we are going to cover, we are going to complete cycle formation selection. Then,
Yes.
shall be able to, there is something I didn't complete in the other first two topics. I'm also going to cover it on this topic. Now,
Yeah.
I was talking about the position trade. Now we are going to the swing trading. Now we have what we call the intraday swing and the swing trading. Intraday swing, now this means that you're going to be to hold the trade just for 2 days, 3 days, or just hours. It's called the intraday.
Yeah.
But the swing, that's exactly where you can hold the trade for a week or a month. Now here, a lot of people get confused with the time frames that they should be using with the swing. So more especially the best swings the swing setups come setups come from the cycle. Come from the monthly
cycle.
Come from the monthly cycle. So meaning that if you want the best swing setup, they should come from the monthly cycle. So the intraday swing, those are the ones that are going to be using the weekly time frame. Okay. So what are we going to get from the swing setup from the monthly cycle is that now we are going to follow the liquidity language from these time frame coordinations. So when you use the monthly cycle, meaning that we are going to be looking for the best swing set. We're going to be looking for swing setups. We're going to be looking for swings that are going to run for weeks or a month altogether. So meaning
Yes.
that's why when you see that when you see about when you use the monthly cycle, we have now to go to the daily, then drop to the 1 hour, we drop to the 15, we drop to the 15 minute. We drop the weekly, we drop the 1 hour time frame, then 15 minute, and then we shall stop to the 3 minute as our entry or our refinement zone. What is, because now there is a difference with this with the intraday swing, because now the intraday swing has only 4 coordinations: the weekly, the 4 hour, the 30 minute, and the 5 minute. So this one will be the best cycle for us to get setups that are going to run for month or to run for several weeks. Right, together. That are going
Yes.
several weeks. Now let's assume now we have this. Let's assume now we have this as our monthly area of liquidity. So price happens to perform a shift point. So let's assume now this is our monthly area of liquidity. Price performs a shift and leaves us with this formation. So that is a monthly area of liquidity. It's a monthly area of liquidity. So now meaning that now we have to wait for price to come to this area of liquidity. Or even if we use agglomeration 3, we take the buy from this area of liquidity back to this monthly area of liquidity, because now this is a monthly area of liquidity. Is a monthly area of liquidity. So it's being that it's a monthly area of liquidity, whenever we wait for price to come inside this area of liquidity, meaning now this is the monthly low. Okay, so it may take a good time, or it may take weeks for price to move from this area to come back to the weekly area or to the monthly area of liquidity. So when price comes to the monthly area of liquidity, You know now price must come and form new lows in a monthly time frame. Now this was a monthly low. Okay, remember price moves in a sequence of lower highs and lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. Now this is a situation where price is moving up to form a series of lower high before it forms another low. So it means that when you take the area, you may hold the buy using agglomeration 3, because now agglomeration 3 we always target the areas of liquidity, the constant areas of liquidity, or situation areas of liquidity with agglomeration 3. We always target a certain area of liquidity when you're using agglomeration 3. So now when you take the buys from this area, it will take a time for price to come from this area to go back to the monthly area of liquidity. So whenever price come to the monthly area of liquidity, it means that we are going to use the best cycle. Monthly, daily, 1 hour, a 15-minute, and a 3-minute for entry. Meaning we are not going to, whenever we enter this trade, we are not going to exit this trade from this area of liquidity, because now we know that the price is going to be forming new monthly lows. Okay, meaning that you're going to hold this trade for more than 2, may hold this trade for more than 2 or for more than 2 months, because it's going to take a long time for price to come to form new lows. Okay, so it means that whenever you're looking for the best swing setup, you should use the monthly cycle. Whenever you're looking for setup that are going to hold for month, for days, for month, or for several weeks, we have to use the monthly cycle. Okay, and we should always be patient and follow all the liquidation processes inside those time frames, because now here when you come from the monthly time frame, now the monthly has the monthly area of liquidity. So when the monthly is having a monthly area of liquidity, you need to confirm what we saw on the monthly area of liquidity. We move now to the daily time frame. What do we need to do in the daily time frame? We need to, and now I forgot to explain. Now this is where we apply the time-based direction bias. Okay, the time-based direction bias. And then now when the price comes in the monthly area of liquidity, what are we going to do? We are going to go and look for the one confirmation from the daily time frame. What are we going to be doing the daily time frame? We are either going to use agglomeration 1 to look for the confirmation of the liquidity, or apply the non-confirmation of the liquidity flow, whereby we shall wait for the price to shift inside this monthly area of liquidity in the daily time frame. Okay, so when price shifts in the monthly area of liquidity in the daily time frame, now the monthly and the daily are communicating the same language. So now that's where we're going to drop down to the 1 hour and take our entry based on either a liquidity free engineering available, or some of the affirmative areas of liquidity like the POC, or some of the but qualified areas of liquidity which we shall look at in the near future. So those are the
all right. Considering that on the daily area of liquidity there was an engineered liquidity or a flip. Can you set trades, or you have to wait for confirmation?
No, now the only confirmation we always need is that the confirmation from the daily time frame. Whenever the daily time frame performs a shift point, any area of liquidity available in the daily time frame, that's what you're going to use in the 1 hour time frame. That's the only confirmation, because whenever the price performs a shift in the daily time frame, it's a clear sign that now, or it's a green light that now price is going to be dropping, because it has respected the liquidity flow. It has spoken the same language, because now here whenever price performs a shift, now when the price is bearish. But we also had this bullish move. Okay, the bullish move was pushing us back to the area of liquidity to confirm the bearishness, because now the market has left an area of liquidity, but we haven't confirmed it. Means that there are also possible chances for price to come and just move up without respecting this area of liquidity. But whenever the time frame performs a shift point, now that's a green light. Okay, so those people who have a bigger may just, even after seeing a shift point in the time frame, they may just even enter aggressively, because they know now price is going to drop. But for us, since we have a smaller capital, what are we going to do? We are going to now go to the 1 hour and just refine any area of liquidity available or that was left in the daily time frame. Because sometimes whenever price performs a shift in the daily time frame, it leaves either the inside or outside formation, or it leaves authenticated areas of liquidity. It leaves authenticated areas of liquidity for us to decide which one we're going to use. So when we get something like that, that's when we know that now this market sign, we are going to enter a sell position inside this area and then hold it for several months, because now it will take one candle, it will take a month for price to form one candle. It will take another month for price to come and form a new candle. It will also take a month for price to come and take a new candle. Meaning you're going to hold this trade for 3 months until price comes to break this and whenever price breaks, it may also form more candles. Meaning you may hold a trade for 4 months using the monthly cycle. Okay, meaning that now whenever we are using the monthly cycle, what we need to do is we need to be a bit patient. Here we are not going to be rushing, look for an entry. No, we are going to be waiting for the right opportunity given to us by the market. We are going to be getting the right opportunity given to us by the market. Even if it's a normal area of liquidity, if it's a normal area of liquidity may look like this. Even if it's a normal area of liquidity in a monthly time frame, which is this one, which is that one. Okay, so you have to be patient until price. When we start about automation 3, now we know how to take an opportunity for this buy. But whenever price comes back to this area, you're going to hold the price for so long. You're going to hold it for months, because whatever candle is going to form here is going to take a full month to close right together. So just you need to be patient. So
Yes.
if you're looking for a swing setup that you're going to hold for months, of several weeks, then you're going to be using the monthly cycle only. All together, you're going to be using the monthly cycle only. But when you're looking for the intraday swing, that's when we are going to be using the weekly cycle, whereby we're going to follow weekly time frame as our constant time frame. Then you should drop down to the 4-hour time frame as our situation time frame. Then drop down 30 minutes as our entry time frame. And lastly, you can drop down to the 5 minutes as our refinement time frame. All together, refinement time frame. Now, this is where we're going to hold the trade for 2 days, 3 days, or 4 days, or even 1 week, because you're targeting a weekly area of liquidity, or you're targeting a weekly low. Now, let's assume now we have this. Let's assume now we have this. Let's assume we have a normal area of liquidity on a weekly time frame. So whenever price comes inside this area of liquidity, means that you're going to be targeting this weekly low. You want to see price forming new lows inside this after fully count. Meaning, whenever you get confirmation from the 4 hours, you just take 1 week or 4 days, or 1 week to come and form, or even a few days to come and close below this to form new lows. Meaning, this is not a swing, this is an intraday swing, because you may enter it from here and only one candle comes to close below this low. Okay?
Yes.
You want to look for swing setup that are going to hold for days. Your main focus is only going to be looking at the monthly cycle only. Best is the monthly cycle.
And before you take a weekly trade, is it okay also to check on the monthly?
Now, sometimes you may find yourself having. Let me just show you. Sometimes you may be having something like this. You see, now this is maybe now this is a weekly area of liquidity, a weekly shift. Okay, so when you see a weekly, meaning that now a weekly shift must be inside the monthly shift. So let's assume the monthly shift happened here. The weekly shift, meaning that the monthly time frame is higher than the weekly. the weekly time frame. Mean that the weekly shift should be fast, should be upper, should form inside the monthly shift. So now this is like this. If you want to look for swing, because now there is no how, you're going to first look for a monthly time frame and then go back to the swing to the weekly time frame. The language isn't going to be communicating because sometimes they are all constant time frames, but every time frame will be showing a different thing. Though they will also they will be showing the same bias, but they'll be showing you a different thing. Okay? You may see on the weekly time frame, you have something like this, an area of liquidity, but when you go down to the monthly time frame, you may see even one bullshit candle. But on the weekly time frame, you have a normal area of liquidity, but here you just have one candle. So it's better. That's why we added this in our concept, that we teach students how to select the cycles that they are going to be using so that they don't confuse themselves. Okay, so when you find this, the normal area of liquidity on the weekly time frame, and you see one bullshit candle on the monthly time frame, then you'll be confused. Are you together?
Yes.
Yeah. So whenever we are using the week, or whenever we want to look for swingy setups, then definitely going to be using the monthly time frame. And when you're looking for intraday swings, trades to hold for days, for just week, 1 week, 2 week, you're going to be using, more especially, you're going to be using the weekly cycle. When you're looking for intraday, there's a difference between the intraday swings and the swing. There's a difference, and the position trading. So someone who would like to look for for the trades, scalping trades, you're definitely going to use the daily cycle. The daily at the 1 hour and 15 minutes. So here you're going to be looking for those day trades. 25 pips, 30 pips, 45 pips, and 60 pips, and then you're going to be using the daily as your constant time frame. Meaning that if now this is a let me just have enough space. So now, if you're looking for scalping or the trades, because they fall under the same category, scalping or the trades, let's assume now this is a daily area of liquidity. So if it's the daily area of liquidity, it means that we're going to wait for just price to come inside that daily area, which is not going to take so long for price to come inside that daily area of liquidity. Okay, which is not going to take so long for price to come inside that area of liquidity. Look for confirmations and then continue moving, because even your targets are always going to be small, because now your last target is going to be large. So meaning you're going to secure in your targets. You may say that my first take profit is going to be at 20 pips or 25 pips, and you say now my second target is going to be at 45 pips, and you say my last tip is going to be at 75 pips. So meaning there are no time frames that are going to help us in scalping. No, scalping is just like gambling and existing a trade in a few minutes. When you see one candle from this area, one candle like that, then you exit that trade. That is shit. Never trade such kind of a trading style. It's like gambling, or you're risking a lot of money, or you're wasting your capital for nothing. Not together.
Yes.
So what are you going to do? So whenever you're looking for intraday setups, we are going to be looking, we are going to be using the daily time frame as our constant time frame. Then it's going to act as our bigger time frame. It's going to act as our right together, bro.
Yes, we are.
Is going to act as our bigger time frame, meaning that it's also good to look for intraday setups, but the reason why we don't recommend looking for intraday setups, because now there is a lot of confusion on lower time frame. That's why it's always better to look for the bigger picture from these higher time frames, the bigger picture from these higher time frames. whenever you look for the bigger picture from the constant time frame, the weekly and the monthly, it gives you a clue on what you're going to be doing, on what's going to happen in near future. But if you're using if you want to look for the, let me just even go back here. You know, when you use this brush, you don't, it always disturbs a lot.
Which one?
This brush, this one. So whenever we are looking
the
position trading, I told you we only focus on the 3 month, the 1 month, 1 week, or 3 month, 1 week, and the daily time frame as our cycle. 3 month, the weekly time frame, and the daily time frame. I mean, the daily time frame is going to be our entry. Okay, that's the position trading. The swing trading or swing setups, we are going to be looking at the monthly cycle.
Really?
The intraday swing, we are going to be looking at the weekly cycle as our constant time frame. So scalping and intraday, we are going to be using the daily cycle as our constant time frames. So you should you should do the selection before you decide which one you want to use. Right together.
Yes.
I don't know what's happening. So that's how we do the selection, the cycle selection, and formation which I'm going to use. Each selection or each cycle requires you to apply the coordinated time frames if you want to get consistent result. Each cycle selection requires you to follow the time frame coordinations. All together.
Yeah, I like the weekly one.
Yeah, for the weekly one, it will be good. But also the monthly is the best in looking for swing setups.
Or the monthly. But on the monthly, does it produce a lot of setups really?
More than the weekly time frame, though, that you need to be
Seriously?
you need to be patient.
Oh.
Yeah, you need to be patient to wait for the right opportunity. You need to be patient to wait for the right opportunity. But for me, I prefer using the monthly cycle as my selected cycle. Now let me show the trade I told you last time that I took based on
Yeah.
for the monthly. Was it the monthly? Let me first delete everything. So now this is a daily time frame. Okay, so we first go to the 3 month, and I'll show you if you're looking for a swing. Now, if you remember, when I told you that whenever price performs a shift point and leaves no area of liquidity, okay, or whenever price performs a shift and either leaves the outside formation or the outside formation is washed, we come and look for the liquidity flip that is happening from this area here. Okay, we come and look for the liquidity flip that is happening from this area here. So now this was the area of liquidity available. Are we together? And this was the area of liquidity available. Just mark it like this. So let me show you. So now we never use the math. Now we are looking for a position trade. We are looking for a position. We are looking
trading.
For position trade. The person is going to hold for several months. Now this is the monthly. This is a position trading, meaning we start from the 3 month, dropping down to the weekly time frame as our next time frame. So now when you come up to this time frame, we can get see now we had this as our nearest area of liquidity. Do you see the nearest area of liquidity?
Yes.
Have this as our nearest area of, liquidity, meaning that we are going to be looking for our entries based in this area of liquidity. First to go back to the weekly time, to the 3 month time frame. For the 3 month time frame, we saw price performed a shifty point here and left no area of liquidity. Okay, but when we went down to the 1 week, we saw that now we have an available area of liquidity, which is this one. Okay, meaning that price performed a shift point here on weekly time frame. So the weekly time frame has corresponded the 3 month because it has also performed a shift point. Okay, so they formed these formations. It formed these formations. This one, it forms also this formation. It's also from this formation. It was consumed. Later price came close below this meaning now this is the available area of liquidity. Meaning now we have not to come and look for any area of liquidity available inside this area of liquidity. So now when we go to the daily time frame, yes, clearly we have a liquidity engineering here, but we also have a liquidity flip here. See this liquidity flip here.
Yes.
See the liquidity flip. So now the liquidity flip might be our area of, but the bad thing about this position trade that we always have a bigger stop loss.
Stop loss.
Always have a bigger stop loss. But so long as that we know what we're doing, we can make a good amount. So we have that liquidity flip there. So you have now to be patient enough, and wait for the right opportunity. So now we have that liquidity flip, but when you look closely here, we also have now this washed area. We also have now this washed qualified area. We also have now this area inside here. You can clearly see that area there. So you have to be patient enough when you're praying price to come to the so coming back to the weekly time frame. So now we have this second or this entry that we are waiting. See, so price you have to be patient. You have to be patient. You have to be patient for price to come to that desired area of liquidity. So maybe when they entered from that area, from this area here, they are going to enter from that liquidity we saw, which is definitely there. So maybe when you go now to do the refinement, you take this liquidity flip from this area here. Maybe if you decided to refine move to the 1 hour, it will be, hope you see it here, because when you have a pullback to the upside, then you have this one. So that will be
Yes.
this area. So they will be able to come and take their entry based on that liquidity. So they are going to hold this trade, or they are not going to exit this trade for several months, because they have been patient for all over 2 weeks, for over a month waiting for that their right zone. So price comes, price drops. Because now when you get that such kind of entry, you're going to be patient until the price drops to your definite target. Meaning that whoever entered that trade using as a position trade is still holding the sales. Right now, he's still holding the sales. So let me just remove that so that we can know how far it.
Really dipped. You there? I can't hear your voice.
I said, you see this
Yeah.
EDP AUD, price performed a shift
Yeah.
in monthly time frame. Let me just cut here so that you can. You had a shift in the monthly time frame. So we had both
Okay.
outside formation and the demiator. We know we have what we call the demiators, which I will teach in the near future. These are the demiators. So instead of marking the inside formation, I rather mark the demiator because I know the demiators always have hidden entries inside it. Now this is a monthly time frame. I will teach you the demiator. Okay.
Okay.
So now this is a monthly time frame. And then now I have now to go to the daily time frame. Let me just first come here. And then now I have now to go to the daily time frame and look for the shift point available. So price would have performed the shift point. So price performed the shift point here in the daily time frame. So here we are using agglomeration one. So price performed a shift point and left unauthenticated areas of liquidity. So here this one was consumed, this one is consumed. So which one are we having? So we are having this one as our last choice. Okay, the one that wasn't fully
Yes.
consumed. So sometimes maybe when you go to find, you'll be getting maybe this assure that you're getting the entry that let me mark it green. So just showing just a bit of the examples. So now that's the area we are currently having because we had authenticated areas of liquidity. So price comes. So price came and it firstly gave an entry. Let me first go back to the monthly time frame. Yeah, we still have a chance to join. So let me just do it like this. Be like removing the thing. So let me cut again. So now you can clearly see that how price came to our maybe the refinement without taking that entry based there because now this is just an example. So now this is a swing setup that came and hold for. Now you can clearly see your exit point price performed a shift point in the monthly time frame, which is here, meaning that your exit point should be inside it. You should be exit inside this area, this formation here. So see how many months, because now it took 1 month to form all of this, kind of starting from the week. So meaning you're going to hold this trade for several months. Let me check. You've been trading hold these days, this pair for several. It gave
Almost
almost
4,000 people.
4,000 pips. How many days? 1,246 days. 1,246 days. It means that you would have held this trade for a year.
A whole year.
More than a year, because now these are 1,264 days. Meaning that you would have held this trade for almost, because a year is having almost 4 years, maybe. Okay, that's what we call swing trading. Or many months, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There are a lot, because we also have these pullbacks. So that's how we do swing trading. So let's see one trade that we would have taken using. Let's see one trade we would have taken using using a weekly cycle. This is GBP set. So on a weekly time frame here, so here is a trade based on a weekly cycle. Price performed a shift point. Let me cut here. So price performed a shift point here. So price formed the authenticated areas of liquidity because they are more than 2, 1, 2, and 3. So this one seems to have consumed a bit of this because they are 2, this one and this one. So our main focus is going to be on this one as our area available. So you can see price would have come from the daily time frame. Let's assume that it triggered because we always have sniper entries. Maybe you would have consumed from that area and then you would have hold that trade for 1,500 pips. So now this is the view for the 4-hour time frame. Maybe you would have confirmed the liquidity flow from the 4-hour time frame and then take the trade. And you can clearly see when you go back to the weekly time, it shows that this trade didn't hold for so long because after it went up, you see, after it went up, it didn't hold for days. So if you wanted to hold it for several months, then you would have been taken out because the exit point was here. Price performed a shift point. First, the price performed a shift point and left these two formations. So the first buy came from this formation. It was also came and liquidated out. So now you know which cycle you're going to be using, which cycle is going to give setup. It depends on which trader are you. Are you an intraday? Are you a swing trader or are you a scalping trader? Meaning that when you follow the cycles that I've given to you, you'll be able to get good and precise his entries or good and strong setups based on how you understand the things. Right? Good.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what we have on. So now, all I can say, just follow what I have given to you because now it's the bet you're going to be. If you want to get a swingy setup and a position trade, go to the 3-month, come back to the weekly time frame, get your entry from the daily time frame or refinement from the 1 hour, then you're going to hold the trade and then enjoy your profits with ease. So that's how we do the selection. That's how we do the cycle selection and which one are we going to be using and how we're going to benefit, we're going to benefit from that cycle. So it depends on which one you want, but it's always better to have the best setups other than trying to trade each and every opportunity you see. We're together.
Yes.
Yeah. So now we have covered the trend, the directional bias, structure based, time based, fundamental based, the advanced market structure, the understanding of the swing laws, structure formation, confirmation, validation, evaluation level, inside and outside formation, authenticated areas of liquidity, the time frame coordinations, a shift correlation and a shift. So tomorrow, before going to liquidity, we shall first go into the areas of liquidity inside and outside the formation. I'll show you how to use all the deep understanding of them tomorrow on our next session.
Yeah.
I want to clear something there. On the inside and outside formation and authenticated areas of liquidity tomorrow. So the next day we shall be starting the nature, the origin and the nature of liquidity. Origin and nature of liquidity tomorrow on the next on Tuesday. All together.